So the track actually is the original track that they had back in the 80s and 90s. It's the same configuration, same shape for the most part. We came here about a month ago. And throughout the course of the past 2 years, we had been negotiating. We announced a deal. We were going to build a smaller track over here. That it just wasn't right. It wasn't the right thing to do. So we sat back down with the fair board and worked out a deal to bring back the original track. Even though from 2024 standards, a bigger track isn't something that is desirable for a lot of the race car drivers. So again, we got to buck a trend. We have to do something that is abnormal. So we did that. In the process of getting ready to do that, in April, we had a flood, which was another big setback. Throughout the summer, I kept in contact with the fair board. We had a number of other events that we do across the United States, and so it was tough for us to get back here. I made a decision that we were just going to get it done. We canceled a couple of our other events in Tennessee so we could come here, and the track is in phenomenal shape. We had added some new clay to it. So at that point, it's like, okay, can we get contractors in time? Can we get guardrail? Can we get fencing? You know, all that, can we get that done? So we spent about 2 weeks of that, like really lining things up, lining equipment up, contractors and whatnot. And then, you know, came to the realization, we're going to pull this off. We're going to do this in a month. It is the original shape of the track. We're not touching it. We're enhancing it. We're modernizing it for 2024. Back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of wild stories about Pennsboro. Unfortunately, we can't do that no more. It's just, you know, liability and insurance and stuff like that. But what we have back here is a brand new hillside that's been redeveloped. It has that charm of the hillside, but it's modern and it's safe. And that's the biggest thing, you know, moving forward to make this facility grow into the future. As far as events that we're going to have this week, we have the XR Super Series late models, which this track was a late model staple back in the 80s and 90s, some of the biggest events in the entire industry. We're going to bring them back. We have some support classes each night, but it's more of a soft opening. It's pretty low key. We're not going to really push it is the return. We still have things to figure out as far as the logistics side, making sure the parking works out correctly, the grandstands are working correctly, and it kind of gives us an idea. It's like, okay, what can we do moving into 2025 to enhance and improve the experience and make this, you know, the facility that it used to be? So that's the $1 million question right now. You know, how big can this be? It'll be okay on Thursday and Friday, but Saturday could be like days of old. I mean, it could be a lot of people here. You know, 6,000-7,000 people could end up showing up here. Weather's looking good. The biggest factor in these events is the weather. So if the weather holds and it's good, I mean, we might have an epic opening, reopening of this track. And we know the fans are hungry. You know, they've waited a long time for this track to come back. I know the local community's hungry. They've waited a long time. So we just hope to have a really good race, a safe race. We know it's not going to be perfect. You know, we're going to have to make a couple adjustments for next year, and then we'll have a full schedule. You know, if the track's ready and a race is good, then we got the biggest part is accomplished. And then after that, we can grow, run more races, continue to work with the community, you know, just make this part of Pennsboro again. This track is so historic and has so much history and lore. It's obviously very unique in where it's at and the people that are, you know, part of this area. And I think at our company, XR Events, we don't take on easy projects. You know, we have to be motivated to do something that other people just can't accomplish. And it's not that, you know, you can't do it. You have to break through, you know, a lot of politics, a lot of rumors, a lot of scenarios, and get people to unite, come together and get projects like these done. 10 years ago, the people of Pennsboro saved this speedway, and those people are back. They've come back in full force. As they've seen us doing work, they just started showing up. You know, what can we do to help? So whether it's helping directly or connections that they have or equipment that they have or a number of other things, people of Pennsboro, there was a reason this track was saved, and that was because of them. And we're going to bring it back for them. and restore history here at Pennsboro.